Well, hello. Welcome to Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do April 2023, a reading for the sign of Aquarius. And if this is the first time to my channel, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. So glad to see you here. Thank you so much for your support. Oh, got two of them there. So I am going to do a little bit different of a spread. I was called to start changing it up a little bit around the 1st of April. Just something I felt intuitively. So we're going to deal 8 cards to tell me about your story going on for the month of April 2023. And then we're going to deal cards of advice separately. Just so you're aware, especially if you've been here before. Just a little different. I think it's, I've already done a few readings this way, and I'm really liking, I don't know, I feel like I get more detail out of it. Just a little bit more information, right? Also want to mention, I'm going to start doing private readings probably by the next batch of videos that come out, so that would be like mid-April. Look for information in the description box if you're interested in private reading, okay? So we don't want to throw that into the candle. That card could be on fire. It might be something really significant since it wanted to burn. Okay, Aquarius. Let's see what you have going on for April 2023. You got the 5 of Clubs, the 9 of Hearts, 5 of Diamonds, a lot of change, and the 8 of Diamonds. So the first thing I'm seeing offhand is it might have to do with some kind of work situation. Maybe you are embarking on this solo effort, entrepreneurial effort. Maybe you're starting up a new business. If you're not starting a business, you might be just going in a new career direction, but it's about something you've initiated. And see all these changes coming about. With the 5 of Diamonds, it's about changes in finances. Usually has to do with negotiation. So you could be negotiating a salary, a settlement of some sort. I don't know, maybe departing like the old career, the old work situation. But this is the card that talks about the need for change. So you definitely needed some kind of change to come along. It's tells me that things were stagnant for a while. You know, kind of stuck. You probably felt like things weren't going anywhere. But ultimately, it's leading to this wish fulfillment. Now, it could have been the wish fulfillment to change your career path or to change your lifestyle. I could certainly relate to wanting to change your career path. You know, I'm kind of tired of working kind of the same old thing, doing what everybody else is doing to make X amount of money. I kind of want to, well, this is say I'm determined to break off from that typical script. I'm not a typical person, so I feel like I need a new script in life that suits my personality better. And I got all kinds of ideas coming to me pretty much daily. And yes, I'm also kind of feeling stuck in my work situation. So I can certainly relate to that. I'm not trying to make this into my reading. I'm actually not an Aquarius, but I see you doing some really interesting things that are actually bringing a lot of happiness. You get the 3 of Spades, so you might be a little bit worried about where things are headed. 9 of Spades, Jack of Spades, King of Hearts. Okay, we'll look at that in a second. 6 of Diamonds, lots of opportunities here to expand your financial, taking financial responsibility. King of Spades, Queen of Diamonds. You may be dealing with some kind of air sign who's giving you trouble with that King of Spades. Somebody that you feel like has some authority over you. Maybe it's a spouse. Maybe it's a spouse that really doesn't want you to go in this direction. They might be worried financially because I'm just looking at this Queen of Diamonds. It's earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but the Pentacles, also the Diamonds here in cartomancy, you know, it highlights your financial situation. Where that King of Spades is somebody who's very practical, again, that you feel like they have some authority over you in some way. And that doesn't mean it's a supervisor or, you know, a boss. It's just, it could be a partner. Not that they control you, but you feel like they call the shots, maybe. And maybe they're trying to, or maybe they have, sorry, in the past, controlled where you've gone in your career. You know what I mean? Like, they've influenced your decisions, let's say, because you wanted to reach a compromise with them, you know, so that they wouldn't be worried. But this Queen of Diamonds is all about the finances and keeping things practical, on a practical level. Now, I do want to dive into this Nine of Spades, Jack of Spades, and King of Hearts energy. Very interesting combination. I feel like the Nine of Spades is some kind of disappointment. Probably in the past, because it is a completion card. Whereas the Jack of Spades expresses some kind of distrust. And I feel like this is you. I feel like this is your internal experience. You had some disappointment in the past. It could have been with this partner. And you're a little distrustful perhaps of how they would perceive you going in this new career direction. But the King of Hearts is very positive. It's water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But it's also that King energy is about taking control. Like, you really are taking control of that distrust and perhaps being a little, I want to say afraid in the sense that you're going to be hurt, but afraid to rock the boat. Afraid to rock the boat, and that could be where the stress is coming out of. This doesn't mean that this is going to stop you. It's just that you're being pulled in a couple different directions. You're not totally, like, emotionally secure about your decision, but you know you definitely want to do this because it's going to bring this wish fulfillment. And in the past, I think there's a lot of pushback. Again, you could be involved with this air sign over here. There's nothing inherently wrong with this King of Spades energy. It's just that, like I said, they're kind of somebody who's not on the same page with you. And I'm feeling that very strongly, that you're being bold and moving in a new direction that is going to open up, I want to remind you, it's going to open up these possibilities. So I think you're doing the right thing. You're headed in the right direction. Let's go ahead. Okay. Separation. Look at all this change you have going on, Aquarius. You have a lot of changes happening in April, for sure. And this does talk about physical separation. Now, this could be physical separation from the work situation that you're leaving or leaving behind. If it's not like you're physically moving, like out of your residence, or, you know, a relocation like that. I'm not picking up right off the bat. This is about leaving a relationship. I think it's more of that, leaving that old job situation behind. What also just hit me is you're leaving behind that old mentality of that you have to stay on the path that you've been on. Usually the Five of Hearts is more literal, but I think in this case it can actually be you're leaving that behind, because again, this was the card that indicates you need a change. You felt stuck in something for a while. Stagnancy. Seven of Hearts. Yeah, you had your heart broken. So I think you've had, like, again, I'm just going to reiterate, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I think you've had a little bit of pushback in this decision, but you felt you had to do it. This is disappointment in a person. This is, I wouldn't say it's over the top traumatic. It's probably a short-term pain that you're going through, or heartache. It's kind of the heartache card. Like, you really wish this person would see things the way you do, but this just popped out while I was saying that, and it just made me stop, because look, you got all the fives out here. These are all about changes. This is the breakup card. Again, if you're not leaving a relationship, you could just be breaking off from some very outdated ways of living, ways of thinking. There's another sign. Who was it? I think it's Libra. If you have Libra in your chart, it was kind of around the same idea of leaving behind old ways of thinking. Now, it's very possible I could be talking to some Aquarius that are leaving a relationship. I think I've kind of seen that headed in your direction, let's say, in your last few readings for the last few months. Not like the last couple of weeks, but over the course of the last few months. If you're not leaving that relationship, you're definitely breaking yourself off, and changes are being forced upon you because you have to make these changes. It's overdue. It's time. It's for your best interest. It's the healthiest thing to do at this point in your journey. Yeah, look at that. This is behind you, though. This is a major a completion, a major chapter that's closed. This was pretty devastating. I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I feel like I'm talking to an Aquarius who compromised on a huge level. On a huge level, what their true calling was, what they were truly called to do, and I think you were dissuaded from that. You were taken off that path for some reason, and now it's all coming to a head, where you have to move in this new direction. That's what's going to lead to your ultimate fulfillment, and I do want to emphasize this is a solo effort, so this is about you making this decision. This is not about a person nudging you in that direction. It's also about you putting in that time, energy, and effort, and things really paying off for you. This could all be just kind of opening up for you in April. This is pretty intense, but it's also exciting. Very exciting. Look at that tower moment. Yeah, you rocked the boat. You brought down the old structure. You're rebuilding on a new foundation. You are ready for this new start with this Ace of Spades. That's what it's all about. This is the Tower card in traditional tarot, and I'm sure if you are a tarot connoisseur, you know what that Tower card represents. It's not just things being destroyed. It's also about rebirth. Things being rebuilt. On a good foundation, but things being sturdier. That's going to sustain you longer. So let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice, Aquarius. Really dynamic, exciting reading. I'm just loving the energy coming through. 3 of Diamonds. Eight of Spades. A couple more, please. 7 of Spades. Okay. 3 of Diamonds tells me, again, you're a little bit you're being pulled in a couple different directions. This is around money matters, though. Again, I think your significant person in your life, your spouse, whether it's marriage or not, it's somebody that you kind of have to deal with financial matters with. You have to take them into account. That's definitely a concern. You're getting pulled in 2 different directions, perhaps, to be more practical versus taking this leap of faith. I don't see it as a big, huge problem, though, because you are leaving. This is about stressful work situations, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of the above, and needing to relieve that stress. Again, emphasis on this change that has to happen. Feeling stuck. And you're gonna, so this is about truth being revealed. You're gonna realize something. If you haven't already, this is your cards of advice. Something is gonna become clear to you. So I see the purpose of the reading today is to kind of outline what's going on with you, all these changes that are happening. But in the midst of this, you're being advised that something's gonna occur to you. It could be an epiphany. It could be a truth that wasn't revealed before. Maybe something about the spouse or the person you're involved with and how they feel about things and what they truly value. It could be truth about yourself coming out. I'm going to get some tea. Hold on 1 second. I was just going to cough during that, so I was like, I have to take a break. Sorry. Yeah, there's going to be some kind of truth coming out for you. And it's a positive change because you're leaving that stressful work situation. I think you're on your way if you haven't already done it. It might have been your last reading, actually. It talked about you walking away from a job situation. For some reason, that just popped in my head because I do sometimes remember, I do all 12 zodiac signs, right? And it's hard to remember each one specifically. They kind of all start to get mixed up, and I'm not always sure, but I was just hearing Aquarius had something going on with their work situation in March. So if you want to check out that reading, I have a playlist for you. It'll also pop up at the end of the video. You can click on the previous month's reading for Aquarius, okay? 6 of Clubs and the Queen of Hearts. This is ultimately leading to personal growth, and in particular how to take care of yourself. That's what the Queen of Hearts represents, self-nurturing. It is that water sign energy, but I don't think we're looking at a person. I think we're looking at you. Well, of course you are a person. Of course you are. But this is all about taking care of you, and that 6 of Clubs is that personal growth card. You're learning probably a lot about yourself, but you're also learning how to take care of your own needs. This is all about emotions and fulfillment, self-satisfaction, because ultimately we can only bring that to ourselves. No one else is going to bring us ultimate satisfaction and fulfillment. If you haven't learned that yet, you are learning that at the moment, and this is going to lead to more options and opportunities in personal growth. So there's a lot of very positive energy coming out of this transformation you're going through. I'm going to ask for a couple more cards of advice. So finances are going to be a little bit green for you at the moment through this transition, about how to perhaps budget in a different way, because with a transition in employment, often we have a gap in employment. It's just about kind of a new financial situation. That's the best way to phrase that Jack of Diamonds energy, and dealing with it in a new way. Doesn't mean you're inexperienced in money matters. It just means there's a change that's brought about a new situation for you. Yes, and things will be up in the air for you. This is fantastic because this is also the Fool card. Reminds us that we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's headed our way, and that can sound very, very scary, but don't mean to phrase it that way. I mean to phrase it as look to the future as a clean slate. All things are possible, and when you phrase it that way, it sounds so much more powerful that all things are possible. Don't look at this as looking into the void. The dark abyss of, my God, I don't know what's down there. It all depends on your mindset. Again, what were we talking about earlier about letting go of mindsets? All ways of thinking. Your reading is definitely along the same lines as Libra. So, very curious to see how many Aquarians have that Libran influence. Again, there is a playlist for both of those signs on my channel, so you're welcome to check that out. I am going to leave it there because I'm feeling very, very, very confident that we have a very clear picture here of what's going on for you in April. I hope it brought some insight and some guidance, perhaps gave you some ideas, probably confirmed that the direction you're headed. You definitely want to change the direction in your career in some form or matter, whether it's going off on your own or just completely going in a different career. And it's strange that this reading came up today because I was just thinking of that myself. There's a career path I'm thinking of pursuing that I never thought I would pursue. It's just started out as an idea this morning, literally. It's not something I've been thinking over for a while at all. And I feel like I'm tapping into kind of the same energy with you here, Aquarius. Okay, and again, I'm not an Aquarian. I'm actually opposite of you on the zodiac wheel. I'm a Leo. So we may have some connections there. But nonetheless, that doesn't matter, right? Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up sign. I am starting to do extended readings, and each month I will look at which signs are getting the most likes. So if you're interested in an extended reading, go ahead and hit that thumbs up sign for the next reading that comes out. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe notifications if you'd like to see when the next video comes out. And I do want to remind you, I have a place for you to make a small, if you want to tip me, give me a small donation. There is a link in the bottom of the description box. And don't forget to review that description box. Going forward, I'm going to put information in there on how to acquire a personal reading from me through Vimeo. Okay? Hang in there. You got a lot of exciting things going on. I'm excited for you. And take care until I see you again.